Today I'm showing you how to look and feel 10 years younger. Hi, in case you don't know me, I'm Sophie and welcome to my Gorgeously Green Lifestyle channel. On this channel, I show you how to live a healthier, greener, and more joyous lifestyle. And if you're a little up there in age, getting towards 50 or beyond, you, my friend, are in the right place because I give you practical tips, tools, information, and inspiration that you can put into practice today. So please make sure that you subscribe and click on that little gray bell icon because that way you'll be notified when a brand new video goes live. So let's get on with today's topic, which is how to look and feel 10 years younger pretty effortlessly. And to make it really simple for you so that as we go through these 10 tips, you don't feel that you have to have a sort of paper and pen handy, I've created a really easy cheat sheet for you. And I cover all the tips that I'm going to give you in this video, but with a lot more information. So be sure to click on the link below the video to get the free download. You're really going to find that useful. Okay, let's jump straight in with tip number 1. Be who you are. Be authentic. Now, what I mean by this is that we live in an ageist society. We just do. Where, the advertising would have us believe that past the age of 50, we're going to get old, infirm, sick, need all these medications and drugs, and it's all downhill from now on in. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of scaremongering. It isn't true. And one of the saddest things I see is when we are ashamed of how old we are. We're embarrassed by our age. So my first tip is not to be a victim to the ageist society we live in. Let's stand up and say it as it is. Be who you are. Be proud of the age that you are. I'm 55 right now, and I hope I'm going to be super proud. I know I will be when I reach 60 or 65 or 70 and shout it from the rooftops. 100 years ago, the lifespan of a woman was 50 years old. And look now, there are plenty of women that live beautifully and healthfully into their 90s. We have tremendous health span, I should say, if we live with these wonderful, healthy lifestyle changes, many of which I teach you. So don't be ashamed of who you are and be who you are. There are no rules. And if you're hearing those rules, then be a rule breaker. Who's to say that you can't have beautiful long hair after the age of 50? I really don't like the word age appropriate. Don't be a victim to that either. If you want to grow your hair waist length when you're 50, 60, 70, go for it. If you want to go gray and have I have so many friends that have beautiful gray hair and they look so gorgeous, do that. If you want to dye your hair purple or blue, do that. If you want to wear Birkenstocks and paint your toenails fluorescent purple, do that. If you want to be in stilettos, it really doesn't matter. What really matters is that you're authentic and you're you. There's only one you. So we don't want to be a version of somebody else. We want to be you. And honestly, the women that I know that I admire so much and I love so much and I think they are so, so gorgeous are women who are vulnerable and who are themselves, sort of warts and all. We're not afraid to show who we are. We've all got faults, lots of weaknesses, lots of faults, but our faults are stitched together with beautiful, good intentions. So that's my most important tip. Shying away and being ashamed of, embarrassed of how old you are or who you are or whatever, that in of itself is going to make you look older. When you stand up and you're proud of who you are and you're thrilled because you've been through the trenches of your life. Nobody's got to the age of 50 without going through all kinds of hardships, heartbreak, losses, divorces, job losses. I mean, we've been in the trenches. Your life is rarefied if you haven't. I've certainly been through all of that. And we've been through all of that, and it's made us, you know, wiser and deeper and more passionate and more able to cope with life and more able to appreciate the light and the dark and the good and the bad. It's all wonderful. So celebrate your age now. Tip number 2, and this is a practical tip, and this is my favorite one that you can do instantly. And so if the only thing that you get from this video is this particular tip, then take this one away. Now, this was actually taught to me by one of my besties who lives in the UK. She's an osteopath, Melina. Thank you, Melina. And she taught this to ladies on many of my wellness retreats that I teach. And it's all about posture, but it's a super simple hack, and it will absolutely instantaneously make you look and feel 10 years younger. So let me show you how to do it now. Okay, so take a look at this. Okay, there's that, right? Obviously I'm slightly exaggerating it here, but this is what happens to us as we age. Head goes forward, we're staring into a computer or driving or sitting watching TV, shoulders hunch, belly puffs out, and that's how we tend to be, okay? Now, I want to show you the difference. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do that. It's so simple. So what I want you to do is get up now, everybody, do your bad, worst posture, or just let your belly hang out, let the shoulders come forward, let the head come forward, right? We're all standing in kind of like old person posture. Okay. Now, I want you to take your mind's eye to the nape of your neck, the top of the nape of your neck, where your hairline ends. Okay, you can actually just feel it with your finger, where your hairline is, top of the nape of the neck, and simply lift that area up, though there's a string attached to it, and it lifts up. And everything corrects. How easy was that? One more time. Let's all do it together. I'll do a side view now. Okay, let's do our worst posture. Okay, let it all hang out. Okay, and now the top of the nape of the neck, where your hairline is, you're gonna lift, lift, lift. You'll see your shoulders go back, stomach comes in. 10 years younger. Tip number 3 is manage your stress. Now, we're all stressed, obviously. We're stressed in this day and age, you know, particularly I think as we get a little bit older as women, you know, children, maybe teenage children, maybe looking after elderly parents, maybe juggling 3 jobs, maybe you're a single mom. So there are outside stressors, and I'm not taking that away from you. If that's your life, that's your life. But we have to find a way of managing our stress because it is so deleterious to our health, and it is extremely aging. You know, it shortens our telomeres. It also almost every biomarker in your body will be affected badly by stress. And it puts wrinkles on your face, and I'm not averse to a few wrinkles, but you know what I'm saying. So how do we do it? I mean, I can sit here going, manage your stress, you know, everybody meditate. And I am a meditator, and I've been meditating for 30 years, but I know that for a newbie to meditation, or if you're tearing your hair out with stress right now and you're like, oh gosh, don't tell me to meditate, Sophie, seriously, I can't stop my thoughts. I tried that and it was horrible. Well, you know, whole nother topic. Meditation actually isn't stopping your thoughts at all. The first thing that I do when I go into meditation is like, bring them on, bring your thoughts on. It's about watching and observing your thoughts. But because I wanted to make this very easy for you and not make this entire video about stress relief or meditation, I have created a gift for you. So underneath this video, I've created a beautiful audio meditation for you that you can try as soon as you finish with this video. Click the download, my gift to you. Try it, and after you've done that meditation, come back to the comments and let me know how you feel. Because I'm telling you, every single time I meditate, and I meditate twice daily, every single day, no matter what. I also practice breathing, which is a very quick shortcut into a meditative state. But whenever I practice my meditation, I come out of my meditation and I feel 20 years younger than when I went in with all that stress. Because what meditation does is it releases stress and it brings you back to your natural state of being, how we're meant to be, which is feeling peaceful, being in the moment, being present. And that, my friends, is definitely anti-aging. Tip number 4, pick a physical activity that you've never done or that you maybe haven't done for 30 or 40 years. And why I say this is that a physical activity that you haven't done, that you're not used to, will get you out of your rut. So obviously exercise is very important as we get older, and I have a lot of videos about exercise, so check some of those out, particularly pertaining to women who are 50 and over. But I am actually talking about getting out of your box, your rut, the usual, you know, an hour on the elliptical or the, you know, whatever it is that you do a lot of, that repetitive action. We want to sort of shock your body a little bit into doing something, whoa, that it's kind of never done before. And not only is this great for your brain, but it makes you feel younger. It'll make you laugh because you're going to have some problems doing it for the first time. You're not going to have it down. And it's just fantastic all the way around. So I want to give you an example, and this might be something you want to try. So I was thinking about this and I thought, okay, this year I'm going to do something that I've never done before. What is it going to be? So I was actually on YouTube searching and I came across hooping, like hula hooping. And I've actually never done hula hooping. I know a lot of you probably have when you were a kid, but I haven't. So for me, I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be really interesting. So I looked around and I found a brand that was just, I was like, oh, they're amazing, called Hoopology. And this is in your cheat sheet below, all the details. And I ordered myself a beginner's travel hoop. And I got a travel hoop because I wanted one that could be disassembled, because I didn't want this huge giant hoop in my house, with my husband going, Sophie, another thing in the house, like, where is that gonna live? And I was like, I'm not having that. It's gonna live under the bed, disassembled, when I've done my hooping. Also, it's got a really great strap, so I can travel with it. But it comes in 6 pieces. I think this one is called the Hoop Nautica, or the Hoop Nautica, which sounds so cool and all that anyway. And so you can either put it together with 5 pieces if you want a smaller hoop, or 6 pieces if you want a larger hoop. It's amazing for burning calories, for body conditioning, for backache, but more than anything, after I did my first hooping session, I honestly felt like 20 years younger. I felt like a kid. Those feel-good chemicals were rushing around my brain. I was laughing so much because I was so bad at it. It was literally the hoop for the first 10 tries just crashed to the ground. My husband just like going, oh my gosh, what is she doing now? But I did manage to kind of get it down. So let's take a look. Okay, tip number 5, eat tons of fruits and veggies and hydrate really well. Now, I'm stating the obvious because there's no doctor or healthcare provider or expert on earth who's going to, say that it's not healthier to eat lots of fruits and veggies and to hydrate with lots of water or something that is a really great electrolyte, such as coconut water, every single day. But here's the thing, I am a certified holistic nutritionist. I'm a board certified nutritionist. And so the study of nutrition is top priority for me. And working with hundreds of clients over the years, I've seen such remarkable changes in health, but in also men and women looking and feeling younger. Obviously, when you're healthy, then you're going to feel younger. And when you adopt a whole food, plant-based way of eating, in my experience, you feel lighter, you have more energy, you lose unwanted pounds, all those pesky biomarkers that often come with aging, such as inflammation, sometimes chronic inflammation, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all those things get better. Plus, you have the knowledge when you're eating a whole food plant-based diet that this way of eating, I don't actually call it a diet, I call it a live it, because it's a way of life. It's not a diet where we're, just having to kind of restrict what we do. It's a live it. It's the way you live and you feel amazing. So this is my experience. And if you want to know more about, how to transition to this way of eating, I have so many videos on my channel about this. So not short of those, check them out. But honestly, that is like a huge, huge tip for me. Tip number 6 is sleep. So honestly, again, this might seem obvious, but if you have trouble sleeping, if you're not getting about 8 hours sleep, good sleep a night, then you need to make some modifications or figure out how we're going to get you to that place when you can get that sleep. Because 8 hours sleep is where you're going to regenerate, it's where you're going to heal. It's very, very important for brain health as we get older. And of course, when you get 8 hours rest, you wake up in the morning and you are going to look and you're going to feel so much younger. So this could be a whole hour-long video of how to get more sleep. I'm going to do a video with a doctor, functional doctor, on this very topic, because I know a lot of you suffer from insomnia, particularly as you're in menopause or post-menopausal. So I've got your back. We're going to go there. But for the moment, the one tip I can give you that really made a huge difference to me, and even if you have trouble sleeping, is just get to bed earlier. Turn in 1 hour earlier. If normally you go to bed at 12, try 11. If normally you go to bed at 11, try 10 o'clock. And for the hour before you go to bed, try and wind down. Herbal tea, stay away from a screen. We want to stop all that stimulation, whether it's from a phone or a TV or a computer. Maybe take a little bit of melatonin. These are really simple tips that can make a huge difference for you to actually get into bed, feel relaxed, and drift into a more restful sleep. But more on that to come. Tip number 7 is forgiveness. Now, the reason why this is in my top 10 tips for looking and feeling 10 years younger is because if we grow older, and you may know people who grow older harboring resentment and anger and bitterness, and this ages us very, very quickly. Anything that contracts you. So when you're angry and you're angry or resentful, not angry, because anger, when it just comes and goes, is a natural emotion, but resentment is very different to anger. And resentment basically means, the word resent means to re-feel. So unlike a child, when somebody steps on your toe, you're like, ow, that hurt, I'm angry. And then it comes and it goes. Totally natural, totally healthy to express that anger. But the difference is that a resentment is if you're thinking of that person who hurt you in whatever way they did, and it goes over and over and over in your head, and you're unwilling to let go of it, and you build a story and meaning around it, and it lives rent-free in your head, and it's deleterious to your health, and it makes us look and feel older. It blocks everything. It blocks the energy from flowing through. It blocks the light from flowing through. So it's so important that we really practice forgiveness. And what I recommend you do, again, more detailed tips in that cheat sheet, because I don't want to make this video like 2 hours long. But in short, what you want to do, and some of us need to do this every single day, for really good health, to release those resentments, is write them down. Get them down on paper and look at them. And maybe you're first on that list for forgiveness. Maybe, you know, when we tend to judge and resent other people, we tend to judge and resent ourselves. So put yourself first on the list and forgive yourself for all the mistakes that you've made. But when you look at it on paper and you look at all those people that you resent and what they've done, and even yourself, you then can realize and understand that all those people to some extent are emotionally unwell. They're emotionally hurting, as were you when perhaps you hurt somebody else. And when we really understand this, it becomes much easier to forgive those people. And forgiveness is so important. When we practice forgiveness, we're free. And when we feel free, then we literally feel years younger. This is a bigger process for some of us. Some of us have got some really deep entrenched trauma and hurt. Maybe might need to go and see a therapist to deal with that. And if that's you, I encourage you to go and do that. Any way that you can be free and walk free of resentment and be in forgiveness is a beautiful thing. So check out my little cheat sheet there. Tip number 8, appreciate. So you're going to start appreciation lists or an appreciation notebook. It's similar to a gratitude list or keeping a gratitude notebook, but I prefer the word appreciation. Because sometimes gratitude for me is like, oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful I've got a roof over my head. I'm so grateful, which indeed I am. But when I appreciate something, like when I appreciate my husband, you know, instead of going, I'm so grateful for you, like I'm coming from this place of, oh, thank God for you. You know, that's one thing. But when I go to say to my husband, I appreciate you so much, what I'm doing is I'm appreciating his value. So when we appreciate something, we're increasing its value. So we have so many things in our life around us, most of us, and a lot of the time we don't really see or notice how valuable they are until they're maybe gone. So what I recommend you do is spend a little bit of time each day writing an appreciation list and then taking that appreciation with you into your day. I appreciate my husband so much. I appreciate this friend so much. I appreciate, look at even the little tiny things. I appreciate this beautiful food that I have in my fridge right now. I mean, the list can go on and on and on, but what you're doing is you're taking the little tiny details in your life and you're increasing their value. And a person who walks around full of appreciation, I'm telling you, they look and feel 10 years younger. And very quickly, there's a woman who is this beautiful yoga teacher. She's 101 years old now. I've met her, PORCHON, LYNCH. She is so beautiful. And she is somebody who has so much appreciation for everything in her life, that when you meet her, it flows out of her. She's 101, but she has the energy of a 30-year-old or a 20-year-old. Tip number 9, protect your energy. So your energy is so valuable, you know, and we only have sort of so much energy in a day, you know, and I realize my energy and I get my energy from a power that is much greater than I am, than just my little physical being and my ego is. So that's the starting place for me with energy. It's like I open myself up to that power and that energy, and I let it flow in me and through me, so I can be a channel for that, for spirit. However, there are energy vampires in the world. There are people and situations that can actually drain my energy. So what I do is I tune in to how a situation or a person makes me feel. So if after a phone call or a meeting or a lunch with a person or a group of people, if I walk away and I feel drained and negative and down, then there's my clue they're energy vampires. And there are a lot of energy vampires, people who are really negative, people who are really angry. It's that sort of toxic energy, people who want to dump all their problems on you. And it can happen on a phone call. After that phone call, you know, do you feel like that, or do you feel, oh? And it's not to say that you can't be there for people who are in pain and who are going through problems. Of course we want to do that, but there's a really fine line. So start becoming aware of who and what the energy vampires are in your life. It could be a job, it could be a situation. It's not worth it. Life is too short to be robbed of your precious God-given energy, that beautiful spark that makes you look and feel at least 10 years younger. Tip number 10 is create a morning routine. So this has been life-changing for me. I've sort of been dabbling with a morning routine for, I don't know, the last probably 20 years, but it's only in the last 5 years that I've really got it down. And it's changed my life to create a morning routine where every single morning I put a lot of the tips that I've given you in this video into practice in a short 10-minute routine. But it's so important for me because every day I wake up and we're reborn when we wake up. We've been to sleep, we've had dreams, you wake up. And very often your default when you wake up, depending on your sleep or lack of sleep or dreams, could be that you're anxious and fearful and you're in survival mode. And so for me, what I need to do is take the steps immediately, as soon as I sort of blink into consciousness. I need to take the steps to change my mindset and change my being. And I do this through a little bit of yoga, a little bit of meditation, a little bit of prayer. And the most important thing that I do is I plug into my dreams and my goals and my sense of purpose. Studies have shown that the oldest people who are the happiest, and looking at the blue zones, those areas of the world that boast the highest number of healthy centenarians, one of the commonalities, aside from diet and exercise and a few other things, is that all of them have an enormous sense of purpose. But for me, I have to be conscious of that purpose every day. I have to plug into what that purpose is every single day. Because if I don't, it can sort of just fade into the background and then life takes over and you just sort of get a little bit discombobulated. So set your compass, find your true north. And the way that I do this is I have a planner, a beautiful notebook. And I found this one recently, and I just want to show it to you because it's so beautiful. It's called the Legend Planner. So let's take a quick look at it now. So create a legendary life. And these planners come in beautiful colors. This one I think is my favorite, the rose gold. But I want to show you this one here. And we open it up. They're just beautifully made. And they give you a lot of questions here about self-discovery. Then my vision, my dreams. And you get 50 dreams to put there. Let's plug into our dreams because our dreams inform our purpose. Then my most important life goals. So it's just such a beautiful workbook. My vision board, and if you don't want to stick things in, you can write what your vision is, of your purpose. Then we go into different goals, my daily rituals, my strategy. And just in short, what a beautiful planner like this does for me every morning to plan in. And when you get into it, you have a sort of daily thing that you can do. It sort of serves as a planner as well as a sort of visionary board or a visionary book. It helps me to stay connected to my goals, my dreams, and my life purpose. So that's it. Those are my top 10 tips for looking and feeling younger. And, as you can see, none of those tips were about anti-aging serums or, anything like that. I love a bit of skincare. I love a bit of anti-aging serum and makeup and all that. And I've got videos that cover that sort of stuff, which is lovely. But for this video, I really wanted to plug into the inside out because honestly, feeling and looking 10 years younger doesn't come from the outside. I can be made up to the hilt. I can have a makeup artist, you know, putting every little eyelash exactly where it needs to be, and wearing clothes that I think, you know, I've been dressed by a you know, stylist to make me look and feel 10 years younger. But if I'm not feeling it deep inside, then I'm never really, truly gonna look and feel 10 years younger. So that's why I wanted to do this video. So I hope some of those tips resonated with you. Let me know. And also, more than anything, let me know your tips, because you, my beautiful community who are so supportive and compassionate and lovely, you really are. The comments you leave blow me away. And so let me and the rest of our community know in the comments. Give us some tips, little things that you found, little hacks that make you look and feel at least 10 years younger. And I'll see you next time.